Hello Internet, I'm Remote Leg and this is The Dude. Today we're going to show you how to build a settlement. There'll be no spoilers except showing this location on the map. It's the Starlight Drive-In and I'll show the map multiple times, so perhaps you might want to come back after you've discovered it if you really don't want any spoilers at all. I'm using a PC, so I'll be referring to PC keyboard commands. Console users, you need to translate. How to get a new settlement location. First, kill all the bad guys so the map says cleared. When you kill all the bad guys in an area, you must access the red console or another crafting facility before you actually take ownership. If you don't, the bad guys will respawn over time. This is not necessarily a bad thing. If you don't want the settlement, you can farm the location for experience. Second, find the red console. Only locations with a red console can become settlements. Activate the console to take possession. It also works with any of the other crafting consoles that might already be there, but a red console must be present and you must clear the location first. Here's a tip. You can use these facilities before you clear out a location. You just won't take ownership when you do. Use them to scrap junk to reduce encumbrance while in the field so you can keep adventuring longer. Now our map has changed from cleared to show the number of settlers and their happiness. Congratulations, you are now the new owner. Okay, we have the land, let's get to work. We begin by clearing up the area. I used to keep some of this trash around for window dressing and a bit of ambience, but it isn't useful and you can't even move it. Now I just scrap it all. Wow, that's hot. Here's something important. You can remove toxic waste by scrapping it. Put on your hazmat suit so you can get close enough without getting radiation burns. Rad-X works if you don't have a hazmat suit. Now, scrap the yellow barrels to remove the radiation from the settlement area. It's odd that we only get steel from scrapping these barrels. You'd think there'd be some nuclear material too. That's better. Who thought cleaning up hazardous waste could be so easy? Well, back to work. Now we can start building. Big question, what to build? We could build a big fortress base with defensive turrets and platforms, but to be honest, that's pretty easy and gets boring after you've done it a few times. Let's do something with a little more flair. Let's restore this cinema to its former glory. Nobody has cars anymore, so we'll make it into an outdoor cinema rather than a drive-in. Here's a tip. Save often when building. Quick save is nice, but a hard save is even better. It's really easy to mess something up and it's often simpler to just restore from a save rather than try and correct the blunder you've just made. Remember that you can't save when you're in building mode. If you're building and hitting the quick save button every minute, you've got nothing. You need to exit out of building mode for quick save to work. Boy, it hurt when I discovered that for the first time. Back to work. Oh, no we can't because we don't have enough resources. Scrapping all the junk gave us some raw material like wood and steel, but we don't have enough for a full-blown cinema. We can either collect the stuff we need by scrapping more junk, or we can connect this settlement with others we own to share resources between them. All connected settlements share all resources, so it's not necessary to connect each settlement to every other settlement. Once a settlement is connected to one other, it has access to the resources of every settlement in the network. Linking settlements requires the charisma-based trait Local Leader. We pick one of our settlers who we don't particularly like and assign him to a lifetime of trudging back and forth between these two settlements. Now we have lots of stuff to build with. Use the concrete block found in the wooden floor tiles category to allow us to set a foundation at any height we require, so we can build on uneven ground. We only need one because we can attach cheaper wooden floor tiles to it, but we can get some nice effects using concrete blocks too. As you can see, these wooden floor tiles snap together quite nicely. We're just building a platform for our cinema here. A basic skill is being able to select an existing piece to reposition it. On the PC it's the E key, as you can see on the bottom of the screen. What many people don't know is that you can press and hold down the E key to select the current piece plus everything attached to it. This is very powerful. This is really boring. Let's skip ahead to the completion of the platform. Do you see the size bar in the top right corner of the screen? Each settlement has a maximum number of things we can build there. This bar tells us when we get close to filling up, and when it's full, we can't add anything more. There's our platform done. Before we get into adding furniture, I just want to run through 3 important tips. It's easier to position items by walking rather than spinning them. Spinning is too inaccurate and just leads to frustration. Also, if you build something you decide you don't want, use Tab to store it. It's cheaper than scrapping it and rebuilding later. Next time you build that piece, it will be taken from your inventory rather than reconstructing it from scratch. The laws of physics only apply up to a point. One great tip is the ability to build scaffolding, construct something on it, then remove scaffolding to leave a floating structure. Now, floating doesn't make much sense, but this technique can be used to make items appear to be dangling from something above. Okay, it's time to start laying down some furniture. It's a cinema, so I've chosen seats that seem to fit with the mood pretty well. We're going to add a lot of seats, and each has to be precisely positioned so it lines up with its neighbours. You guessed it, we're going to skip over this boring bit too. Furniture also has containers which are great for storing your stuff. Adding similar ones looks neat, but I lose track of what's in each. If they're close together, I use different styles, or I position them in areas that I know relate to a specific thing. If we run out of a resource, we can't build any more things that need it. Here we have run out of aluminium, so we can't build any more chairs. To help us find more, we can tag a resource with the Q key, and a little magnifying glass appears next to it. Now, whenever we examine anything that we can scrap for aluminium, a magnifying glass appears next to it. That's all the chairs finished, and 2 hours off my life I'll never get back. Be careful what you commit to when building. Towards the end of this lot, I just wanted to load up the Fat Man and smash everything. Also, I doubt there's a scrap of aluminium left in the wasteland. We've added some cheap seats at the back for poor people, and now we have concession stands so people can buy cold drinks, popcorn and grenades during intermission. Oh yes, we also have a bar and some closets where people can hang up their coats. That's all the furniture done. We still have to do the electrics and defence, but they're such big topics I'm going to leave them for the next video. Please give this video a like if you learned a few useful things. I'm off to run some copper wires about the place.